Welcome back to another B to the 7 Quick Bits. Today I want to get into how email marketing can work for you and for your brand. And as part of this, I also want to give a little bit more insight into some of my history so you have an understanding of where I'm coming from and why I want to share some of this. So I love email marketing. This something goes back all the way back to 2004, 2005, when I created, set up, scheduled, and sent out the first ever HTML image-based email at Papa John's. And over the years, part of that team and growing that team at the director level, building a strategy and a lot of the, tasks that support that strategy, there's a lot of things that we did. I was also part of the ExactTarget client advisory board where we met and talked about, the roadmap of the ExactTarget tools, what the customers were using, which would be us, the partners, and kind of what our vision is moving forward. A lot of the tools that we developed at Papa John's, helped guide Salesforce ExactTarget in some of their sending around distributed sending and some of the tools that we're using even within the franchise part. Another thing that, very proud of, we were very much on the forefront of personalization, using data to help drive some of the content within our emails to where, personalization was much more than just, "Hi Bernie." It was, content, dynamic emails that switched out based on data that we had on particular consumers. And also, we were able to institute welcome drip campaigns based on order frequency. So looking at data to truly deliver an experience within email that was more on the cutting edge forefront way back when we started to do it. So as we get into email, why is this so special for a brand, and why is this something that a brand should be excited about? Think about your subscribers. They are raising their hand and saying, "Hey, I want to hear from you." And not only that, when they are signing up, they are giving you data and information about themselves. These are very loyal customers. They want to be part of the brand. They want to hear from the brand. And when you can take the data that they have given you and match that with either transactional data or other bits of data, then you've really got a powerful tool in which you can target and segment and really start delivering experiences that these consumers are expecting. Email marketing is still one of the most effective digital strategies and tools that are still out there. Think about this for a moment. If social media were to go away tomorrow, you lose all your followers, you lose all your subscribers, you lose all the data that is related to that. You don't own it. You don't own nothing about it. With email marketing, you own the list. You own the content, you own the frequency, you own the A/B testing that you do, you own everything about this process, this tool that you have. And it's really a great way to still re-engage back with consumers based on their order history, based on, are they new? Are they active? Are they lapsing? Are they lapsed? To where you can build campaigns around those individuals to bring those individuals back in. It's still a great way for you to communicate and build trust with your consumers, to talk about your brand, to talk about how you can really help solve their problems. And another reason why email marketing is still very effective is think about your ability to segment your list out, to find those individuals that have engaged a certain way or their purchase history is something else. You can be very targeted, you can be very specific, and in turn you're being very relevant and delivering content to these individuals on what it is that they want based on the data that they have and also what they have told you. That there is so very powerful that that's something you don't find in many other digital areas, digital campaigns, or programs. Okay, now, what are you going to do, or what are the steps to take if you were to start an email marketing program on your own? The first thing is to identify who is the email service provider that is the best for you and your brand. There are a ton out there. They've got all the bells and whistles, but what is it that you're looking to do now, and think about the next 1, 2, 5 years and kind of where it is that you want to spread, and kind of narrow that down to help find that provider that's going to be most effective and beneficial for you as a brand. After you've found the provider, as we get into creating the campaigns themselves, what are some of the things that you really need to think about as you go down this road? what I like to do is step back and think about what is the strategy? What is it that you're wanting to accomplish and how you're going to support that strategy? Who is your audience? Who is the target audience? And what is the message that it is that you want to relay to each one of these segments that you're looking to target? More importantly, you got to define KPIs. What is success of this? Is it, sales, transactions? Is it redemptions? What is it, so that you have those KPIs defined up front? And then with this, and with any email, you always have that ability to A/B test, whether it's the subject line, whether it's a call to action button, whether it's the content within it. But having that ability to measure and understand what that success looks like, so that you are continually evolving the program. Email is not a set it and forget it tool, in my opinion. It's something that should always be tested, always be evolving, and always be ready to approach your consumers in the way that they want to be approached with the content that they want. And just at a high level, some of the steps and items that are important for any email campaign. Think about, the from. Who is the from? Is that tying back into your brand? The pre-header is a great way to add a little more context into what the consumer audience is receiving from you. Of course, your subject line is always important. If you don't have a subject line that is relevant, people aren't going to open. But also, don't try to trick people in, providing something that this email is not. So be very honest and straightforward. Of course, now you get into the email, you've got the content, you've got the call to action, and like I mentioned earlier, the ability to A/B test email is so very powerful and important in delivering really what works for the consumer and what works for your brand. As with any digital program that you have running, the customer experience or the experience is so very important for the end user. Email is no different. So some of the stuff that I look at when I look within my email campaigns, or any email campaign that I'm running, are the data and analytics to understand, are they viewing this on their mobile device, or is it the desktop, so that you can deliver the best experience for them. And if it is on a desktop, then you can condense and create something that's totally different for those individuals. And also, it's the pre-send, the testing. What does this look like across multiple devices? So I'm a big fan of Litmus. It's one of those where you can do test sends and also put pixel tracking within the email itself, so that you could get even more data to then understand. And with any of this, it's always good to have some sort of communication back with the consumer, where you're constantly receiving feedback and understanding what it is that they're engaging with. And there is something like quarterly, you could do something to where you send out a survey to them, or of some sort, an outreach program, so that you're understanding what their expectations are, making sure they haven't changed, and that you're really delivering upon what it is that they're expecting from your brand. Metrics are very important within email itself, and the success of each campaign. Like I mentioned earlier, it's setting those KPIs up in advance. So you're defining what that success looks like. And with an email program, some of the things that you could look at are open rates, click-through rate to open, clicks on any specific point within the email itself. But each campaign is going to be a little bit different. So look at that, how you want to gauge and see the success. Also keep an eye on bounces, which are bad, unsubs, and that also will tell you, are people getting tired of the message that you're sending? So, those are metrics that kind of high level, but you can add to that with so much more. Building your email list is equally important to getting people into your program, as people potentially could churn out. So what are the things that you could potentially do? Look at lead generation type programs, promotions, giveaways, providing content such as ebooks and or e-pages, items that are going to entice people to show you the value of what it is that they're going to receive. These are also items that could be gated content as well, that in order for them to get this information, they have to give you something in return. There are many ways to grow your list. Also look at cross-channel, the ability to promote your list on other social channels within your website, on your sales receipt. There are so many just different variables and options within that, to where you can truly use online, offline, and all your channels to help boost your email program to build that list up. Another great thing about email, and something people do talk about quite often, is, what are the programs that I could be running? What are the campaigns? There are so many. There's always your one-off promotional type thing. But think about a consumer opts into your list. The best thing that you can start off with is a welcome drip campaign that goes out. And this is based on an email sent every X number of days, but it gives you the ability to introduce your brand to this consumer without sending an email that's 14 paragraphs long. It breaks it up into small little chunks along the way. Think about anniversary emails, think about birthday emails, think about the more personalized content. So within your preference center, you can say, here's these 5 different types of options or 6 different types of options an email subscriber can choose from, and based on what their preferences are, you can deliver that content to them. Also think about drip engagement campaigns, and these could be consumers that are new to the brand. These could be active, lapsing or lapsed, but you understand where they are within their ordering cycle and have that ability to be more personalized and customized based on the type campaign that you're using. And remember, data is so important within email marketing for you to deliver that more personalized, dynamic email that's very relevant for that consumer. Who are some of the brands that are really knocking it out of the park? And the ones that I'm going to mention, they are using data to the fullest. They are really very personalized in their messaging within email and delivering content of value. So I look at Mixtiles and think those are the pictures that you can put on the walls. But that's something I started to engage with them over the holiday season, and their personalization and what they have in their emails is awesome. Zappos, they always go back, great customer service. Netflix, always, they've got so much data, they know what it is that you're looking, kind of what your preferences are through a lot of their AI. Very good. Amazon, of course, another one. Think about also your social channels and the way they engage with you with email, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, the notifications they have. So those are just some of the brands that I like to follow just to see. Another good thing that you could potentially do is, your competitors. Subscribe to their newsletters to get an understanding of what it is that they're sending their consumers, and that'll kind of give you another idea of what other people are doing. And finally, now that we've talked about the email campaigns themselves, we've talked about KPIs, we've talked data, insights, programs. What about content? Where does the content come from? So this goes back to kind of your preference center that you can kind of build at the beginning. And it could be broken out into different areas that you'd like to focus on, but also look at your FAQs. That's a good place to pull content. Look at your insights from your website to understand what it is people are looking for. Understand the order history, and really develop your persona and your segments of, okay, these people in this segment get this type of information, these people get this, but you can use the data itself to create very dynamic and engaging emails just based on what the consumers are giving you and telling you. But content is also very important for you to deliver that experience. So think about just the ways that you can even use social as a way to gauge interest. But the content is supposed to be relevant for these individuals and personalized to get the most benefit and be the most effective for your consumer. I've gone through a lot today with email marketing, and as I said at the beginning, email marketing is so very important. These people have raised their hand. They say, yes, I want to hear from your brand. And that is very powerful when you've got a consumer that is willing to give you data just to hear back from you. So I know we went through a lot today. If you have any questions about email marketing in general, like I said, I go back to 2004, 2005. I've had a lot of success with major brands, smaller brands, but I understand and get email marketing and how it can be very beneficial for your brand. And I've got a lot of knowledge to share around this. And I get very excited about email marketing because, in my opinion, it is still one of the most effective digital marketing tools that are still out there with the most effective ROI, return on investment, on what you're spending and what you get back out of it. It's so very powerful to be able to talk to a consumer and deliver content that is relevant for them. So if you have any other questions ever around email marketing, please shoot me a message and I can help you as best as possible. Go visit b7.com. That's my website for you to get more insights around this. And for you, some action items to take away. Look at your current programs. Look at some of the things that I mentioned today to make it better. Remember, email marketing is not static. It is always evolving as your consumers are evolving. So, keep that in mind. And then if you don't have an email program, ask yourself why. Is it because of resources? Is it because of time? Is it because of money? Ask yourself those hard questions. And if it's any of that, I can always be of service and help to you and help guide you and, provide strategy and insights to help you get your program up and off the ground and running and help choose the email service provider that's going to be best. But everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.